Hello my fellow gardening gals and guys, welcome back to my channel Serenity Now Garden. My name's Jeannie and I garden in a zone 4B. So I have a few plants I'm going to be planting up today. I'll kind of show you what those are and I'll show you up at my front bed. I just have like a couple holes that I need to fill in basically. Unfortunately I lost a coneflower over the winter and I wanted to plant another one. Now the coneflowers I have up there are the old-fashioned variety Magnus coneflowers. I'll insert a clip or a picture. But what I've always wanted was these powwow wildberry coneflowers. I got this at Lowe's for just like $8. Yes, $7.98. And they already have a couple buds. These get 18 inches tall and 18 inches wide. So I thought that was good just to have some more variety in there. These will flower all through summer and fall, so they're pretty long lasting. They could really take the heat. You just have to keep them watered good for the first season. They can also reseed, and if you just kind of let the spent flowers stay on the stalks, the birds will eat them in the fall, late fall. So that is powwow wildberry coneflower, and I'll insert a picture what it looks like fully grown. So that was a good Lowe's find. I've been really liking Lowe's lately because they really, at least the one around where I live, has really stepped up, like as far as their clearance section goes. I've gotten a lot of good things. This Blue Star Juniper was also in the clearance section. It looks fine now. There was a couple of these just like dead little branches. There's no like spider mites or anything. It just looks like maybe it just didn't get enough water. So this was normally like 20 some dollars. I got it for half price. So always check out the clearance section at these places. A lot of times they just need a little TLC and they'll bounce right back. So I'll show you in my front bed. I have a few Wichita blue junipers that are upright. I wanted to put a creeping one in also, kind of where there's a hole. This one gets 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, so it's kind of just low growing. So I will put that up front. I'll show you where. Another thing I'll show you up at the front bed is that I've been having an issue with spider mites. It's just that time of year in July here where it's drier that you can get spider mites. I'll show you some asters, New England asters, that I noticed some damage on. And I also have a boxwood up by my front door. This was the first year that spider mites ever affected it. So I'll show you what that looks like. Let me take you up there and I will first show you where I'm going to plant these, and then I'll show you all the spider mite damage and what I did about it. So stay tuned for that. If you like videos like this, if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be great, and consider subscribing to my channel. Alright guys. Alright you guys, so this is where I lost the coneflower. Now it did reseed itself a bit. You could see I am pulling out some of the dead coneflower there. All the little seedlings behind it won't bloom this year, but it was from leaving the seed head on over the winter. So these might not bloom till next year, if these even take. So we'll see how that goes. If these do end up blooming, I will transplant them, probably spread them out a bit. But backing up here just so you can kind of see where I'm going to plant this. So we have some coneflowers on the right there, but this is the coneflower it was right next to. That was the Magnus coneflower. And so it's just this little hole here next to it that I'm going to be planting. I have some spent daffodils there, so I'm going to rip those daffodils out. The foliage is done. And I'll go ahead and plant here. And I'll bring you in a little closer here. What I'm going to do is in that bucket, I have compost and black dirt and some, it's called chicken poo, organic fertilizer. It's just a slow release 444 mixture. I mix in the native soil. This soil was super dry up here. So actually I put a little more compost in than I normally do. I'm throwing out any roots that I end up shoveling out. This area used to be all buckthorn just 3 years ago. So all these plants are relatively new. So I'll just mix that in really well, put that plant down in there, make sure, it's the soil's at the same level as it was before, and I'm going to put just a ton of the amended soil around it. I do this with all my plants because I have such sandy soil and it's super dry. So this definitely helps. So I think once this grows in, it's going to look great right next to this other coneflower. It needs some variety, So this is the front bed here, just backed up a little bit more. On the left is where I'm going to be planting the blue star juniper. So you could see there's a Wichita blue juniper upright on the right. Now I'm going to be planting this blue star in between and to the back of these two shrubs. It's just a hole there and something needs to take its place. And I don't want to put another taller juniper in there. So this creeping one that just gets 3 by 3 would be perfect. So these two shrubs, we have a mock orange on the left that's a spring bloomer, and we have a Sutherland gold elderberry on the right. So the mock orange will get about 6 feet tall, and I'm not sure exactly how tall that elderberry is going to get, but it will fill in this area. So I needed to put it back a little bit further, and that's also why I didn't want to put another upright juniper. But it matches the blue in the Wichita blue junipers perfectly, so yeah, when I saw this on clearance, I just had to get it. Same thing before, I just mix in some compost and some black dirt, and I have some organic slow release fertilizer mixed in there. Yeah, like I said, this soil was drier than a bone. So we haven't been getting as much rain lately, so I need to make sure I water this well. This was a little bit root bound, so I'm just kind of teasing out the roots a bit. And I'm dumping a ton of amended soil in there. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. These could be kind of slow growers, so we might not see its full potential right away, obviously, but you got to start somewhere. And the more amended soil I could put in there, the better, because the less sand. It'll just hold on to the nutrients. And there's a finished product, guys. Yeah, it's going to look really good next to this Sutherland Gold. So I'm very happy with that. There's the 5 other Wichita Blue upright junipers. So yeah, now on to my spider mite issue. You guys, I'm going to show you 3 different plants that has spider mite damage. Now I've already treated these, so you're not going to see the telltale sign, which is webbing. But on a lot of these plants, they're very dense and you can't even see the webbing. Sometimes it's within the plant or it's on the bottom. But look closely. This is a thunderhead sedum. And if you could see like the speckled appearance on the leaves, I'll get you in a little bit closer here. Yeah, so I just noticed one day it was looking a little bit speckled. I looked within the plant, I saw all the webbing, and I knew we had an issue. So the first thing that you guys want to do for spider mites is to take a hose and just give it a good blast. Just get all the webbing off of there. They lay their eggs on the back of the leaves there, and you're going to want to treat this with like an organic. They make so many different organic or botanical different sprays you could put on. You could even make your own. So spray with the water first, get them all off as much as you can. Then every few days, you're going to have to retreat because these, if you don't get all the eggs, they will just multiply, 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 and you'll have more damage before you even know it. So yeah, unfortunately, but I did get these all off. So far, so good. Here is a boxwood. Now, I walked past this plant a few times and I saw a little bit of yellowing, as you could see, deep within that plant. Now, I just thought, okay, this area doesn't have the best drainage, so it's probably just a little bit wet. It's not like absorbing a lot of nutrients because it's so wet. I have sandy soil. I just thought it was because of that. But you guys, the other day, I decided it was getting worse. I decided to give it a closer look, and sure enough, there was webbing all within the plant. So I'll kind of
pull back the branches here. Like I said, I already treated these, so you're not going to see the webbing, but yeah, look at all the yellow. What a year for spider mites. I've never had this issue this bad before, but I think I brought it home from a nursery on 2 different plants. One was distressed that I got on clearance, and another one was just really dense. It was a Jacob's ladder. And sure enough, I mean, I spread it to my other plants, so it happens, but so some of the things you can do to treat this, you can use like an insecticidal soap. You can make your own. Some people even use like a diluted rubbing alcohol on the back of the leaves if it's just a small problem. But if it's a large problem, if you could use like a hose end sprayer, that would be good. They make different botanical organic sprays that just have like a pungent oil in it, like let's say like a clove oil or garlic oil. Um, you could spray that all over the plant. Now here is my New England Asters. This damage is extensive. I don't even know if I could save these plants. So look at how dead it is on the inside here. But because this plant is so dense, I didn't notice the inside. And I didn't go up in this bed for a couple days because we had a rain, not too long ago. So I wasn't watering, looking at my plants. And look at all the dead inside. Now, there was webbing all through here. Shortly after I did this video, I just took away like all those dead leaves because I want to increase the circulation because I don't want there to be a fungal issue either. But yeah, as you can see, the speckled appearance, kind of yellowed appearance to the leaves here. Here's a closer look. So those are New England Asters. Now this was I just planted these in the fall. And this is the next spring. So I never went through a full season with these plants. So I don't know if it's going to be an issue. I don't know if these will still bloom, if I could save these all the way, but I treated them and yeah, here's another one. It's just like dead on the inside. It's just like a perfect hiding spot for these spider mites. Another thing you guys could use is neem oil. You could just make sure you read and the directions, and yeah, if as long as it says it's okay for the plant, you could use that. I would try to do it like every 3 days or so just to make sure you got it under control just for a couple weeks. But yeah, it was dry for a while. These plants are dense. I wasn't paying attention, and that's what happened. This one might make it. I mean, it's really hard to tell at this point. But yeah, all that dead on the inside. Once I took all the dead leaves out, the circulation is great. So hopefully it bounces back. Now we're just in mid-July here, so these don't bloom until the fall. So they might make it. They might not bloom. I have no idea. I'll let you guys know. I'll kind of just like keep you informed. Maybe on my next garden tour, I'll show you how they're doing. But so there's my journey with spider mites this year. It's the worst year ever for spider mites. Go figure. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Happy gardening and take care.